Hey guys, before we get into this week's episode, I wanted to say a special thank you from all of us here at MMA Untold. We've had another fun and exciting year, and we're looking forward to what 2019 will bring. For those of you who may be new to the show, be warned. This is not our normal episode. This is a Christmas special, which means the Godfather and Scrappy have broken into Grandpa's old medicine cabinet for a little holiday cheer. So if Christmas stories, random mixed martial arts talk, and laughter aren't your thing, go ahead and hit the stop button now and wait for our episode on Chris Cyborg coming next week. For the rest of you brave souls, enjoy.
Yeah, no, fucking vegan mayonnaise sets me off. We should look up the ingredients. I don't know.
Dude, it tastes exactly the same. I swear it does.
It's like
Me and my cousin got into it because I was in Minnesota for Christmas a couple years ago, and he was like, he didn't understand the concept or why anybody would choose to eat non-meat product. He didn't get it. And I was like, yeah, well, when you live with it for 3 years, you get it. That's what I get. Like, if I want meat, I'm making it. Like, my wife, she makes her stuff, and I normally just eat it because I'm too lazy to make anything with it.
Yeah.
But he didn't get it. So the first person I sent it to was vegan mayonnaise. So I sent it to him. And I was like, dude, yeah, it tastes just the same. He set him off.
Set him off. It's like Miracle Whip?
How fucking dare you? First of all, Miracle Whip's only good on a ham sandwich. That is it. You have to use mayonnaise for everything else.
What if in the end, I've been on this planet for fucking like a million years, and what if in the end I like would like Miracle Whip? Like, I hate mayonnaise because
you've never tried Miracle Whip?
Well, no, like I hate mayo so much that I just run away. But everyone gets so offended when you bring up Miracle Whip. What if in the end I would be like a huge Miracle Whip
Miracle
fan?
Whip is just super sweet.
When's the last time you've had mayonnaise?
Oh,
That's a real
wow. Okay, that's a great question. Accidentally, when I've had a drink or two, or
Okay, hold on though.
Like
Do
fast
you
food?
like mayonnaise
Fast
just
food
by
mayo
itself,
doesn't count.
or do you like macaroni salad? Do you like potato salad? That's mayonnaise.
if it's like dry, I can do
Tuna
it.
salad.
Remember, I think we went over this. I eat that dry on the bread.
You
Really?
eat
Yep, 100%.
tuna salad?
100%.
That's like that's next to peanut butter as a choke sandwich.
I'm going to find something that has mayo in it that you like.
You like chocolate cake shakes?
I know it's in there. Don't even get me
There's
started.
mayo in it.
Don't even get me
I'm just
started.
saying.
I know when it's mixed into things, I can ignore it. If it's like cake, I can ignore it. Okay, like Thousand Island dressing, I can kind of ignore
But
it.
you don't like sauces in general.
I hate all
typically
sauce.
On stuff.
All sauces?
All sauces.
I'm like the opposite of you.
What the fuck is wrong with
It's
you?
weird that you.
How do I not know this about
Well, I
you
like,
right
like barbecue sauce and stuff.
now? Okay, Sweet Baby Ray.
Why is this? Oh,
We
yeah.
are like
Oh,
Superman
damn.
and Lex Luthor. You
Yeah.
realize, like, we are on opposite ends of the spectrum.
The other
We're
night-
best friends, but I couldn't be more opposite than you in that regard. Like, I will take something and put 75% worth of condiments on there. Sauces, tomatoes. Tomatoes not a condiment, but I will put extra stuff like a hamburger.
I wasn't looking at you like that though, but so you have a pound hamburger. You're putting like
3 pounds,
3/4
of extra
of
stuff.
Oh my
yeah.
lord!
I like all the additional stuff.
Well, I put all the shit, but I don't put sauce on it.
You don't like
but
ketchup?
see, I gotta have sauce.
I can do
on
ketchup,
stuff.
but like a sandwich, I just eat a dry sandwich.
See, okay,
That's why.
you don't get pissed off when the
Good.
bread gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. Like
It doesn't. It's good.
What?
Why do I have to have sauce on everything?
It doesn't
What the
make
fuck
any
is wrong
sense
with you
though.
guys? You should see
Mustard.
when I go to T-Bell. It's like an interrogation because everything on there is like Southwest jalapeno weird sauce.
Okay, first of all, no, it's not because I just went there because my wife likes it for, I don't know, 4 out of the 5 nights she eats. Well, okay, there's 7 nights she eats, but
She eats 5 nights.
4 of those nights, like when I'm on my way home from work, she's like, "Hey, you want to pick up some T-Bell?" And she gets it dry. There's no sauce because now she has to be on this no dairy right now because we don't know if the baby, whatever.
Yeah.
But I get that. But I get a chalupa and all it has is, you don't like sour cream?
Weird about sour cream.
You know what? I don't even know if I can do this anymore.
Well, you're threatening to walk out of.
But see, hold on. Taylor will attest to this. My love affair with sour cream is out of control.
Oh, it's bad.
Okay,
It's bad.
don't say love affair with sour
It
cream.
is. No, it is a love affair.
I mean, it's something, dude.
My
It's an
wife
affair.
hated sour cream so much she used to call it SC. She refused. It's like Voldemort. She like refused to say the word. You couldn't say the word sour cream in our home. It was
condiment that
unbelievable.
must not
Yeah,
be
you
named.
could
Yeah,
not
it
name
is.
it. And then in the end, she sold out and liked it. So
See,
See,
sour
you may
cream.
get there with mayo.
Sour
Miracle
cream
Whip.
is the end all be all, dude.
okay, fucking dare you?
I've eaten plenty of tacos with Zach, and he asked for a side of sour cream, and he brings up his hands to show the waiter or waitress what he means by a side, and it looks
No.
like he's holding a watermelon.
Okay. So one of the times I was at T-Bell, and the fateful day I found out that a Supreme came with sour cream on it.
Well, that's what.
They get that fucking gun out. The sour cream gun. That was like a disturbing moment for me. I was like, oh, Jesus, I can't do this. And I had to leave. I was like, well, I didn't actually leave, but I wanted to.
Listen, now actually, I agree with you with 70% condiment.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm talking about now.
I do, because like if I'm making homemade tacos, like it's one thing if I'm out at a restaurant and I have to put sour cream on it, it goes all the way across. Like I have at Chipotle, I have to ask for extra sour cream just because it's that good. However, when I'm at home, it goes tortilla, cheese, gotta put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds to melt the cheese, and then it's sour cream just like smeared all over
Don't make
it.
that sound effect. Don't make that sound effect. That
that.
didn't help
Yeah, don't
anything.
do that.
That made me
I
uncomfortable.
was on your side until you did that.
Yeah, I was with you for a minute there. I was envisioning
Like wet shoes.
gorgeous. Okay, well,
Don't do that on the microphone. either,
yeah, please, sir, please
Sorry.
don't.
Can I eat some brownies on the microphone?
Hey, so you were talking about vegan. Did you just sort of related? Did you see that PETA meme, or not even a meme?
Oh, where they corrected the
Yes.
phrases. Oh, Jesus, I did.
Did
I'd
you
love
see
to go
that,
through
Zach?
them though.
No.
All right, I'm going to read you what
Go for
PETA says that you need to say. So I'm going to read you the regular saying.
Wait a minute. Is this like bring the bacon home?
Yes.
That shit.
This is so good.
Get the
Let's
fuck
go
Did you
through
see
this.
all of them?
I didn't. No,
Yeah, let's
that
go
was the
through
only
this.
example I saw.
That I kill two birds with one stone, or the even better Ricky, get two birds stoned at once.
So good.
They want you to say feed two birds with one scone.
I don't even like
so
fucking
upset.
scones.
I'm so upset.
Is that even a thing?
Aren't pastries bad for
I would imagine
birds?
they can't be good for their health.
Here,
Anyway,
Oh for
here,
one.
Blue Jay,
Okay.
have a
Oh, for
blueberry
one.
scone.
Yeah.
Scones are disgusting. Anyway, instead of be the guinea pig, they want you to say be the test tube.
Again, I'm uncomfortable.
That's
I don't know. What
worse.
that, yeah, that's worse.
That is be the test tube.
I'm not, again,
You know
I'm
how
not
much
even
that
sure.
could mean?
If you said that in public, people would just get out.
Yeah.
just see yourself out.
Be the test tube. Be the guinea. No,
Zach, go ahead and do that. Just be the test tube.
That's-
You wouldn't know what I was talking about.
I wouldn't know if this. Are we talking about like? Never mind.
By the way, you cannot just change sayings. That's not a thing. You can't just do that.
Welcome to 2018, because now this is speaking of Christmas. Have you seen like the Rudolph backlash this year?
What
There's
is
a
wrong
legit-
with why? Because
okay.
he got bullied.
So there's some
the bullying
They're
stuff?
saying
Okay.
that it's the worst thing you can show kids, because then it's an example of bullying up until the point where you need someone and then
Sure.
you treat them nicely. And it's like, okay, you're right. That is what goes on there.
I legit watched the Rudolph claymation, not
Yeah?
claymation thing or whatever
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
last
kind
year.
of did
Yes.
notice that. I was like, this
But
is kind of jacked up.
We're going a little too far. Let's just enjoy the child's movie.
Of course.
And okay, now that we're on this, my daughter is currently obsessed with Christmas Chronicles on Netflix. Have you guys seen this?
I've been. It's been coming up.
Okay, why are you posing? It was just like a Rob
My
Van
wife
Dam
and I
pose.
watched half of it.
It was a Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, my wife and I watched half
Okay,
of that.
so I've seen this like 4 times now.
kind of was enjoying
It's
the
not the
first
worst
half.
movie
It's not
ever.
the worst thing ever.
I've
yeah.
seen it 4 times. My daughter loves it. Watch out. So we notice in this that Rudolph is not in it. And we're like,
Yep.
if you think about it, Rudolph is not in anything. And we're like, wait, and this is one of those dumb moments, but you're like, is it just strictly because like the story of Santa Claus is just like a folk story or whatever that everybody has access
Are you
to,
ruining
right?
Santa right now
No, no.
again for
No,
the second year?
No,
in a row?
no. What I'm saying
Okay.
is Rudolph owned by that story owned by someone? I'm asking, is that owned by someone, and do you have to like buy that character to put it in your movie?
Yeah,
Because you
'cause
can tell a
Rudolph-
story about Santa, but can you include Rudolph? Because is
not in
Rudolph
Santa
an elf?
Claus either.
Is Rudolph in Santa Claus? Is Rudolph in
not.
anything? No. And he's the goddamn MVP of the fucking squad, and it's bullshit.
He's the MVP of the squad.
Who's a better reindeer? Who's a better fucking reindeer? Name one.
Comet's pretty awesome,
Comments
but
off the chain.
Comet
He's
is
got the
dope.
fucking red nose when the shit hits the fan.
No,
and he's in
he's got the
nothing.
red nose to lead the way.
You know what? I'm back on the side of everybody who says it's a bullying story because Rudolph should be in everything. This is bullshit. I'm out.
Speaking of Rudolph, I have some red Oreos over there.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna bust those up.
I'm on the wagon right now, minus the booze, but I'm.
You're on the wagon?
You can't be on a diet and
on a
drink
Christmas-
7,000 calories of booze.
That's not
Tim.
sure. It won't be 7,000 calories.
It might be.
Ish.
Not. Just the ish.
Hey, speaking of movies, I'm gonna abandon this.
No.
list
I
'cause
wanna-
It's terrible. It's
Okay.
just terrible.
It's brutal.
I'll read you the other ones real quick. Beat a dead horse. Feed a fed horse.
That's just the
I just-
worst.
Doesn't make any sense.
I want to punch myself in the face when I read that. Bring home the bacon. Bring home the bagels. I don't mind that.
I don't mind that
I
either.
like bagels,
as long as it has
Scott.
cream cheese. You like cream cheese?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Maybe like strawberry cream cheese.
Let's move on. Take the bull by the horns.
Strawberry cream cheese?
I just slid that one in there.
Jalapeno cream cheese is where it's at. Einstein's bagels. Best cream cheese of all
Einstein's
time.
super
I won't let
underrated.
you respond to that because it is the best. Anyway,
I'm not hating on it.
take the bull by the horns or take the flower by the thorns.
I mean, that's a ridiculous statement.
Yeah, that's so absurd. Okay, Zach, please stop slurping your drink. So, I want to tell you about a movie I did watch on Netflix with my wife.
Okay.
That I am one of
Enjoyed?
those people, sort of with the bullying thing, but we recognized how inappropriate this movie was. 16 Candles.
Okay.
Okay,
The old
right?
school-
80s,
yeah,
old
yeah.
school 80s
Yep.
movie,
Okay.
right? My wife had never seen it. Her coworkers who were older suggested that she watch it. So I said, sure. It's probably been 20 years since I've seen it. Let's
Yeah.
sit down and watch it. Hey, let's not do what they did in that movie where the male protagonist, the hunk, the hero, whatever.
I used a hunk, by
just
the way.
used
It's been
hunk,
a
yeah.
while.
So anyway, I'm throwing it back to the 80s. The main guy that she's trying to hook up with, right?
Okay.
He's got his cheerleader girlfriend. They're at a party, get hammered. She passes out. He's talking about like, yeah, I could go in there and take it full advantage of her right now. She'd have no idea. Literally, these are the lines of the
boy.
movie. And he's like, but I'm not interested. And he's talking to the nerd. And he's like, but you go ahead, go in there, have fun. Basically
Okay.
saying like, I could go in and rape her, but why don't you instead?
It's like a beloved
It
movie,
is.
too.
And here's the part. So my wife was like, and there's a few parts like that in the movie. And my wife was like, man, this is crazy. I can't believe, they're condoning that stuff and promoting that stuff and et cetera. I said, but you know what the worst part is not those lines. It's not any of that. That could be in the movie if the guy was the anti-hero or the scumbag. The problem is that he, in the end, gets the girl or the girl gets
Yeah.
him, and he is the prize at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
He's the pot of gold. The scumbag
Jesus.
who's like talking about
Yeah.
raping his girlfriend and having somebody else go do it.
Jeez.
Hey,
Boy,
16
how
candles.
how things have changed.
Very bizarre. I remember hearing someone talk about American Pie.
Okay.
Oh god.
And they were talking about, hey, have you gone back and watched that movie in a long time with your 2018?
No, and I'm super
Viewpoint.
curious about this. Let's hear this.
Well, it's the same sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
you have this foreign exchange student
Yeah.
that he sort of lures into his bedroom, sets up a hidden webcam,
Yeah.
and then films her without her permission and broadcasts it to everyone. And it's the joke.
Yeah, right.
That's
It is way out of
That's
fucking
way
hand.
out of line. Way out of line, right?
Shit.
But do people oversee that because he ultimately embarrasses himself twice? So like people oversee that It's still bad. I'm not saying
that's
it's
not
right.
the only thing in the movie, though. They were
Definitely.
going
Right.
through multiple things in the movie, and I was like, oh man, because again, I saw that
No,
movie
you're
when
right.
it came out. I don't know. I don't remember what happens, but
Yeah, no, that's
there's
that's
quite
a
a
hell
few
of a
things
point.
in that movie that are just. And
God,
again, I know
nothing's
it's meant to
sacred.
be slapstick and highly
No, I know.
inappropriate, but maybe
It
you
is
know.
crazy looking back on that.
It's a great movie though.
It is great.
I like
No,
them
that-
all.
that
Even
whole
American
series, I
like Wedding, like I like them all.
I like that. Yeah, I like the whole series.
Stifler. How about this?
Okay.
A guy got hired at my job 2 years ago. His last name was Stifler.
How'd you handle it?
and
Did you hire him?
I
That
tell
was-
you what. I left 2 days after and never got to work with the guy. So I'm kind of pissed off.
You totally would have been that guy.
Oh,
bringing up Stifler.
absolutely.
He's like, yeah, I've never
Like,
heard
I'm
this
not
before.
calling you Brian. Your name is Stifler.
They should bring. They're gonna bring that series back. They totally will. They bring everything back now.
Bring it back how though?
They will.
Like remake
they'll make
all
it,
of
or
it?
will they make one like all these years?
Did they
later
already
or
do
some
a
shit?
reunion?
They already did a reunion.
probably did.
They did.
I think they did. It wasn't
yeah.
bad.
Wasn't bad at all.
I feel like that series gets like the Scream treatment, where like everybody shits on every Scream but Scream 1, and you're like, it's not that bad. Like,
2's pretty good. I like 2 a lot.
okay, look, and just 4, it was good. They're good for what they are. It
Oh,
got
I'm
a
talking
little-
about American Pie. I
Oh,
like all
I'm
the
on
Screams.
Scream. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
2's probably the worst.
No, you know what? Here's what I hate. Sorry. What I was gonna say is, here's what I hate. All the iconic horror series, if you go through them, they fucking fall apart big time, right? But for whatever reason, Scream doesn't get like allowed the same leeway the other series do. It's always okay.
They
like,
get shit on.
The middle the middle Nightmare on Elm Street movies are a goddamn train wreck.
Well, I think it's because Scream was one of those. Like the first one was. I don't know that it was supposed to be really good. Like Scream was kind of like. It's one of those like, oh, it's a, you know what's gonna happen type of thing. It's a typical thrasher. Like,
Do you think so?
No,
I
no.
think they.
Scream was groundbreaking.
They reinvented
because
it, yeah.
Scream was.
see, I wasn't that old.
Yeah,
it was
you're right.
groundbreaking for
Yeah.
me because that's my favorite horror movie.
No, it was
but-
groundbreaking because at the time horror was in a bad
Dead.
place. It was pretty much dead, and there was a lot of repetitive stuff coming out. And Scream was a breath of fresh air. Scream was taking a step back and viewing horror as a whole and commenting on it and saying, "Here's the tropes and here's the
And that's
rules
where Randy
of horror."
comes
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
Like, can't have sex, can't do drugs.
And the twist of 2 killers. I mean, really, they flipped it on its head. It was not like any other horror movie that was out at the time or that had preceded it. It was totally unique, which made it brilliant. Again, we've
Wow.
talked about this a million times. You can't have a big Hollywood star and put her on the poster and then have her die in the very opening scene.
and they did that.
They did that. They broke all the rules.
And just a
while
reminder,
quoting all the typical rules.
and just a reminder, without spoiling anything for anybody, that in the past couple of years, all I'll say is there was another very big horror movie that did something very similar, and it got people again. It works if you act like you're going left and you go right out of the gate. People are like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
You know,
why can't we have that? More
Going back
often?
to like the Rudolph thing where you said, I wonder
Yes.
if
I don't know how you're
Yes.
gonna tie Scream and
that
Rudolph
might be
together.
the Jaeger
I wonder if
talking.
somebody owns Rudolph and you have to give like the permission to have Rudolph character in something. Scream 2 is the only one that's on Netflix. Why can't 1 and 3 or 4 be on there? I want to watch 1 all the time. Like I can rewatch that, but 2 is the only one on there. And it pisses me
That's
off.
a hell of. Why would because I know like the Halloween movies went back and forth with.
But here's the thing: the
distributors.
director is a director. It's Wes Craven. Like, come
Well,
on.
but-
But
no,
he's
like,
not
but
he's
didn't-
not the company.
Did Dimension
Yeah,
have
Dimension.
all four?
Warner
I
Brothers.
don't know. Well, hey, that might be a Netflix decision. Wait, Warner
Yeah,
Brothers
I
had
guess.
2? Where now we're on a Scream 2. Okay,
well,
well,
hold on. You know,
You
I'm
look
gonna do
that
a quick
up.
look up.
While you're looking that up, another, I guess you could categorize it in the horror genre, but another one that comes to mind that's very similar to Scream that followed that path is The Purge.
yeah, sure.
The first, and again, The Purge wasn't as groundbreaking in my estimation as Scream 1,
no, definitely not.
but it was refreshing when it came out. It was highly regarded when it came out. And then since then, 2, 3, and now 4, the prequel or whatever, have not gotten the same reception as the first one. Not
And
even close.
I want to say that people are saying the show is solid, which it's just like horror fans, which means they're still doing stuff right. You know what I mean? I know the critics hate on it, all of them, but like I agree with you, but I'm just saying it sounds like they're still doing shit right too. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Okay.
It looks like
Oh, here we go. He's got
looks
that
like
look on his face.
Stars owns Scream 1, 2, and 3.
Stars.
So you
But
think
who
they
does-
get into like a contract with Stars?
It could be a
But
simple.
so I'm wrong. 2's not on there. Apparently 4 is on Netflix.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, that feels like,
makes
yeah, they
sense.
probably released the rights to somebody else to make 4 at that point.
That stuff all fascinates me though, because again, this Christmas Chronicle thing, like, did you see it was like 20 million views in 1 week? And they're saying it would have beaten, like, if that was at the box office, it would beat like Guardians of the Galaxy, and it just shows the power of Netflix.
Well, it also when you put in the, because we weren't going to watch it at all, but then we had finished a show and
A little preview
Netflix
fired
like
up.
preview fired
Yeah.
up, and then it was like, from the makers of, and
Yeah,
then what was it, Harry Potter and
Yeah, it's like
something
everything.
else. I was like, all right,
It gets you hooked.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
we're so
maybe we'll put it
starved
on.
for like new Christmas movies too, because it's like the first thing you do is everyone's like want to watch Home Alone, want to watch all the old shit, right? But like, is there a new iconic Christmas movie like
no,
Elf?
and I'm glad you. Yes,
Elf.
Elf is one of them.
But did you know, isn't Elf like 10
It
or like
probably is.
12 years old?
Dude,
that's crazy
like
to
Elf,
think about that.
Elf is 100% the movie at my house. My daughter watches Elf religiously last year and this year, so like that's
That's
the
the
new
best
movie.
answer.
She's
That is the
growing
new
up
movie.
with Elf.
Now I've got one for you that's
Okay.
gonna stump you.
2003,
Was Elf
15 years ago.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah. Well, still
And
a
look
hit.
up-
It's still a hit in
exactly.
my household.
Something that's the same way. Music. Is there a Christmas song that's been made in the last 5-10 years that's iconic?
That's iconic besides the Mariah Carey album?
But
That was
besides a
like
certain
25
track,
years ago, sir.
25?
Maybe not that long, but it's a long time ago. Look
besides
it
a
up.
certain track that ended our Christmas special last year.
Oh, well,
That's
hey,
iconic.
Claus.
That's a number one.
Well, for us, yes.
I love that transition. How many times did we listen to that transition before we just like?
Oh, it's
well, we
actually
knew
put it
right
on.
away that it has to be that, but that transition got replayed so many times.
So good.
was beautiful.
Honestly, there's like fucking zero Christmas.
Yeah,
You're right.
right?
What has happened to Christmas?
Well, you think about it. Every song you listen to, Christmas song, is from years and years
You know what?
ago. How long? 25 exactly?
24
Damn
For which
right.
one again?
Mariah Carey.
Oh,
for
wow.
Mariah Carey.
You're
damn
24 years ago.
Yep.
Damn.
Did you
dude.
guys see the clip of her and her kids where
No.
she's having them sing the song? My wife showed me this.
Is it a
They're
meltdown?
they're in the car and they're singing a Christmas song. It's like
Is it her Christmas song?
it's like
can't do
I
that.
don't remember which track it is, but all I know is she won't. The kids, you can tell the daughters like want to sing as her. She makes them sing as the fucking like backup. She won't let them sing her part. I'm serious. This isn't a joke. So she shuts them down and makes them do like the harmony.
It's like the Step Brothers car song. That
Well,
scene in Step Brothers.
basically,
You're
she
flat. $2,500
exactly.
a week.
and
you're
it's like
flat.
so fucking disturbing. I'm trying to.
That's
I think
crazy.
it was like all
I
I,
knew
want
I
for
liked
Chris-
Nick Cannon
Wait a minute.
more.
I think it was like all I want for Christmas is you or whatever. Now does that count as one of your? Because you hate fucking provocative Christmas
I
tracks.
cannot stand.
No, wait. You
those
hate
songs.
you hate Christmas music in general.
No. I love Christmas music.
I don't think I've ever. Heard
I am
anyone
no
say that.
Grinch, my friend.
I am.
As a matter of fact, I picked up Tim tonight so that he could enjoy many Christmas beverages, and I was playing Christmas music in the car.
Oh,
Tell him,
boy.
Yes,
Tim.
sir. That was Slipknot. That
no,
was not.
no, Slipknot.
That was
Christmas.
Iowa. That was Iowa.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Slipknot Christmas.
Was it not ICP Christmas?
No.
Heyo.
Watch out.
It was a Christmas album, but it is a heavy metal Christmas album.
Told
But
you. it
very
was
good. I
Iowa.
played it
I've
for you last
never-
year, I think.
No.
Yeah.
No way, because I've never heard heavy metal Christmas.
All right. Well, when this
What's the
podcast
band,
is over,
though?
I'm gonna. It's a mix. It's all so it's
No, see,
variety.
I've
It's
never
all
heard
different
it.
bands on the album.
He's pivoting away from the real question that he hates all Christmas music.
Yeah, you don't like
I,
Santa.
Go ahead,
I
Scrooge.
literally love all Christmas music except songs that talk about sleeping with Santa Claus. And look, I've got nothing against that in and of itself.
Is it 'cause he's fat?
It's just they're terrible songs. It's a coincidence, maybe, but they're all horrible songs. every song that sings about getting with Santa, just terrible songs.
It's kind of,
I don't know what
now
it
that you
is.
think about, it's kind of creepy because
They're all creepy.
it's
man.
supposed
They're
to be
all
kid
creepy.
I think
friendly.
the most fucked up one is the I Saw Mom Kissing Santa Claus or whatever.
Wait,
I don't-
what?
You've never heard the I
Oh
Saw
my
Mommy
God.
Kissing
course.
Santa Claus?
Of
I'm like,
course.
what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
In even as a youngster, I was like, what the fuck's going on in this track? Like, what? There's a gentleman that comes down the chimney. Everyone's asleep. Then he's hooking up with your mom.
Yep.
But he leaves gifts, so it's like, all right.
It's all good. Don't tell Dad.
What
Is she
the
a
fuck?
prostitute?
Well, okay,
No.
no.
I mean, she's getting stuff.
No.
This
Kids
is
are
true.
getting
But
stuff.
hold on though. Now, is this is okay?
You may be onto something.
This, you cannot come down. You're coming down the chimney, and basically, mom's hooking up with Santa, and he leaves gifts.
It's full on.
She's providing for her kids.
As you know, as we go through all the lore and stuff with my daughter of all this, like you try to explain things, right?
She believe in Santa?
She has questions. Of course,
I'm starting
she's
to question
never-
whether or not I should even bring up Santa.
No. Oh, my daughter loves fucking Santa.
Okay.
But then again, she's getting too smart, and you have to explain too much. And I'm like, she is starting to learn about danger, and I'm like, I don't want to explain that this guy comes into our house overnight. We're just gonna go. Santa brought gifts. We're not gonna go through it because she's too smart.
He didn't come down the chimney and dropped off
Right.
gifts.
You know what I mean? She's just, they get too smart. And you like my wife wanted to show her Home Alone. And I'm like, it's too scary. It's too scary because there's like a kid dealing with intruders. I'm like, we
true.
got to wait because she's like figured out danger and shit, you know?
Stranger
So-
danger.
Well, exactly.
Full on.
Full on stranger danger.
Can I know I mentioned it about a month and a half ago, but I just want to again reiterate how much I appreciate your enthusiasm for Halloween.
Oh, the movie?
No. The way
Oh.
you dress up for Halloween is just absolutely
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah. We
It's
haven't
so
recorded since
good.
then, huh?
It is so good.
Oh, the full on commitment.
Full
Well,
on commitment. 2 years in a row. I don't know you've done in years past. I mean, do you and your
more
wife
of a-
just go out and like dress up?
No,
it's
we're
because
more
of the
fully
kid.
committed because of our daughter. Definitely.
Okay. So, and dude, it's okay. Now, when I say that the Godfather dresses up, I don't mean he goes to Party City and gets like, a mask or, something to drape over. It's full on mascot costume, no matter what. And it is the most perfect thing I've ever seen.
You know what my favorite part is? He's got the full costume on, and then in every picture, his like shoulder. It's like you can tell he's happy to do it, and he enjoys it. But there's also a little piece of him that died, just like a tiny piece, like behind his
That's the
behind
classiest
his
thing
smile.
he's worn all year.
Behind
right.
his smile, his shoulders are drooped just a little bit. His head's tilted a little bit down, and he's a little bit dead inside. But
See,
he is happy
I
to
actually,
do
all
it.
in.
I
He is
actually,
happy to
I
do
will
it.
respectfully disagree. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't.
No?
And I'm
Okay.
not even like the
Maybe
people.
that's the look.
No, I really don't. Because like, there's even people like you'll see the people
It's
dressed
like, yeah,
up,
bring it on. Fuck
and they
you.
walk around with like solo cups, and I'm like, oh, you're like drinking to deal with all this. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm just so in for my daughter. Like, I really genuinely don't care.
And
Like,
that's why it's so cool.
because I got like she goes through her ideas, and I gotta be on board. But she's 2 for 2. I mean, the Shark Family thing. I was like, let's do it.
How many times
Go, I'm
over
Jaws.
under probably I'm gonna go 63 and a half. How many over under how many times do you listen to that song?
Oh my god! People were openly playing it. We would come up to their house and they would start blasting it.
Yes.
Just nonstop.
Yes.
So
So perfect.
yeah, out of control.
Talk about the moment. Your daughter's with the times.
Oh, she's on it.
It was right on it. Right towards
No.
like it was like Baby Shark was going downhill and then she just brought it way
Just
to
right
another
back.
level and then I haven't heard it since. She
Well,
she ended it.
Jake tried
She
to
was the
warn me.
exclamation point.
Jake tried to warn me. Jake from the podcast. Jake tried to warn me that watch out for this Baby Shark stuff. Like whatever that company is, he's like, watch out because his daughter's 4 months older than mine. Tried to warn
yeah?
me, and I didn't know what was coming my way. And now I'm nonstop.
Hey, speaking of your daughter, you told me the other day that your daughter saved Christmas for you this year.
Oh man, well Christmas is brutal because it's obviously busy for everybody with work and shit, and yeah, it's just the first time I've realized because she's so into it. Like every day she's got her like advent calendar. She has Siri every day, which every day she asks how many days until Christmas, which leads to phenomenal results because my daughter talking to Siri is fantastic because sometimes she botches it, and I actually screen grabbed it. One time, she asked Siri, like, I don't even know how it came out all jumbled, and I'd have to look it up on my phone. I have the screen grab, but she asked, like, how is Christmas or something fucked up, and Siri's response was how old the wrestler Kane was. For no reasons. Like, Kane is 51 years old in 46 days. I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know what happened. So it's awesome.
You and Siri are best friends.
Basically.
Yeah.
So whatever, my daughter every day asks how long until Christmas. We watched, I think, 2 Christmas movies today. Christmas Chronicles.
Oh, yeah.
And then like some Santa Pup 2 or some shit. Some dog one.
Cheesy thing.
Looks like a Hallmark shit. But oh man, so she's totally saved. Yeah, no, she's totally saved it because we talked about this last year. How like,
Christmas is ruined.
You get the Secret Santa list and stuff with your family. You're like, I don't even know what to put on here anymore. I don't know.
Well, here's
But
the
it's all
thing.
about my
Here's the
daughter.
problem that I have is like, as an adult, yeah, I mean, your parents still want to buy you stuff, but I mean, other than like a pair of socks and a couple pairs of underwear, like what? I mean, what do you get, right? So I'm with you on the Secret Santa thing. Like, if I want something, like, I'll just save up and go get it.
Yeah, my headlining gift on my Secret Santa for the fucking family was a gift certificate to a pet store for Harley. I was like, let me go get my dog stuff.
Mine was a new leash
Yeah.
because every leash we get breaks.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
get
need
those
a
retractable
really-
ones.
yeah.
You need to get off those, dude.
I know.
It's crazy. It's nice to let them go out, but they tear so easy.
Well, here's
G
the
is
problem.
out of control.
My dog
so it's
is 19 pounds.
That's true.
And pulls like a 65-pound dog. Legit. I mean, my dog is ridiculous.
What's your dog's name, by the way?
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
We don't talk about our wives' names on here. We don't talk about dogs' names either.
Every dog name but yours.
Yeah.
Did Harley and Gina
Harley
come
and
up all
Gina.
the time?
Yeah.
What?
Don't worry
Wait
about
till
it.
we get the backlash that comes from what's his dog's name? Tell me what it is.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, my dog is a black Jack Russell Terrier, and she is.
So just try and make something up, I guess.
She
from that.
pulls hard. Let me just tell you. She breaks every leash.
Are you going back to sexual Santa songs with that, or what
No.
are we
I'm not. I'm just gonna say, just to add on to what Tim was saying, that yeah, I mean, Christmas, it's tough because Christmas is by far my favorite holiday, favorite time of the year, but it's really easy to let it be ruined by outside things, by the consumerism that's going on around you, by work demanding more of you, by family demanding more of you, not just immediate but extended. But I told my wife, I said, that's it. I'm not letting that happen this year. So all joking aside, I am voluntarily listening to Christmas music to get in the spirit. I am really trying to just, I don't know, like enjoy Christmas because, and I don't want to get too serious and we'll move into some MMA stuff right after this, but it's really easy to take for granted the 35 previous Christmases that I've had that were awesome and be bah humbug about Christmas when there's plenty of people all over the world that would love to decorate a Christmas tree or to have family around or to enjoy a meal with friends or to get one present or to give, to have enough money to give a present to someone and see their face light up. Like, and I don't mean to get all sappy about it, but it's true. Like, you have to remind yourself Christmas is, it's really great.
Dude.
There's so much great about it.
Dude, we have this guy, and he lives down the street from me, and I actually, it's funny because we were leaving, I pointed him out to you briefly, and this guy's got the setup, it's pretty cool, but the best goddamn part of this setup is that he blasts Christmas music from his house, and it just fucking goes down the whole neighborhood. And I was like, I just want to like knock on his door and just be like, thank you. Thank you. Be like, I just want you to know, not only do I not hate it, I fucking love it because every time I get home, I'm like, this guy's awesome. It's like Christmas on my street. I roll my window down and just listen, just let it just serenade me. I'm like, this is it. It's on. And I get bummed when he shuts down for the night. I'm like, leave it on, dude. Leave it on. I'll come outside and listen. It's awesome. And I'm like, I know he's probably
Do you get Christmas carolers in your neighborhood?
No.
No?
Is that still a thing? I feel like that might still be a thing. I don't know.
It might.
Is that
I don't
dangerous
know.
now?
Would that be
Yeah.
too far though?
If you can't go
That's too. I don't want. I do not want carolers.
That'd be
No,
too
I'd be
far.
super
You're
awkward
good
with
with
that.
the blasting of the speaker.
Yes, that's awesome. And I bet he's like insecure about it, and I want him to know fully support it. Fully with you. was gonna leave him a note or something, just like, "Hey, I'm on board."
I would just go knock on his door and bring him some cookies or something. Good night. You see that?
Yeah. We are watching, by the way, we are watching the fights as we record this.
It's a live fight companion. Is
UFC
that our version of a fight companion?
231.
Yeah,
Is it
except-
231?
232.
I don't even know what.
231.
Yeah, 231. I got it right.
232.
Okay.
Speaking of UFC, are we going to do our All We Want for Christmas?
Yeah,
This is
so you were talking about gifts and Secret Santa and all that nonsense. What I want to ask you, and Zach, we'll start with you. Fill in the blank here. All I want for Christmas is, but it needs to be MMA related. So one thing, all you want for Christmas is, and it.
I love this.
So here's the I'm not gonna steal your answer because I know.
No, I don't even know if that.
is.
We briefly, this topic came up, and I said something about. I gave an example. I said what bothered me. Go
Actually,
ahead.
you know what? I'm
Give
gonna
the
go. I'm gonna go. It's a far stretch because I know it won't happen. But all I want for Christmas for the UFC or MMA in general is the next guy in line is the next guy to fight. Stop the super. I mean, I'm cool with super fights. I get it if that makes the most sense. For instance, DC Brock Lesnar. I'm not into it.
Well, hold on. That's not a super fight. A
But
super fight
he's
is
coming in and getting a
Cyborg
title
Nunes.
fight.
Yeah, but that's not a super
Okay,
fight.
true.
Super fights are great. What
True.
you're talking about is something different.
I don't want circus fights.
There you go.
There you go.
There.
Yep.
So I want, for instance, if Woodley is up to fight Colby next, if Colby's number one in line, fight Colby.
Yes.
I don't want him fighting I don't even want him fighting
Usman?
Wonderboy Thompson.
Oh, Wonderboy.
Listen,
He's not number one. I don't want him to fight Usman because he's not number one. RDA, not number one. Fight the next guy in line. That's how you create a legacy. And that's why I think Mighty Mouse fell off the map because he started fighting number 8. And people will say he cleaned out the division. I get that, but not to number 8.
all right. I want to step in here because you're 100% right. Let me tell you why. We do a Christmas episode, we do a New Year's episode. And one of the things that's going to come up a lot in this, we talk a lot about this year and how we feel about things. One of the things that's going to come up a lot on my end is the fedora is going to be out. I'm going to talk a lot about boxing, okay? All right? Listen, in boxing, Tyson Fury is the third best heavyweight in the world. He gets his title shot because he's really the uncrowned champion because they stripped him because he went away. Listen, people at the time, a lot of people still didn't know who Tyson Fury was in this country. People don't. You can go walk down the street. Who's Tyson Fury? I don't know. Cool name. That's all I know, right?
Yeah.
But when you put the two best in there, right? I know Joshua, whatever. But when you put two of the best in there, magic happens, okay? Magic happens. And now that rematch is going to sell like fucking crazy. So
You
the
think Wilder
UFC
takes it, though?
Huh?
That's a
no.
whole other
Tyson Fury's gonna
topic.
be his ass. Now, the UFC is short-sighted. They just want to sell this pay-per-view. Okay, that's all they want to do. Build for the fucking future. Put the two best in there. Something magical happen. Breaking the fourth wall here. We're recording tonight. Like we said, we're watching the fights. It's Ortega versus Holloway. The two best. Magic might happen. Maybe this becomes a trilogy. Who fucking knows? But if you put in these lopsided bullshit fights like you're saying, it never works out. It's like Derek Lewis Black Beast. It's
That-
like,
well, those
wow,
same
that
people.
would be
That's
gorgeous.
a-
that'd be a great fight.
Or, well, that would be phenomenal, huh?
No, but I get it. It's
Freudian
like
slip.
DC and
But
Derek
Cormier,
Lewis,
Derek
like-
Lewis was a bloodbath, and you're just like, why did I pay for this? And
Yeah.
you end that night going, well, I kind of, you kind of waste your money. Put the two best in there. Who knows if it's an awesome feud? Either way, you end up happy. Because even if the champion retains and beats somebody's ass, at least you go, damn, this guy's awesome. He
For
just beat number
real.
one.
He's for real.
All right, so I'm going to rain on your parade for just a second. And
Okay.
I do not disagree with you. Zach, that's a great gift. But you brought up Mighty Mouse, and I want to ask you honestly, what do you do in a situation like that? Because Mighty Mouse was taking the next person in line. As a
He
matter
was
of
taking
fact,
the next
it was
person in
the
line.
criticism.
They gave him.
Well-
but he refused. We've talked about this many times before. He refused to move up.
Well, but that's something different that you're talking about because that's almost counter to your point. Your point is fight the next contender, but moving up is not fighting the next contender.
Do you think Zach's point, though, is that if you clean out an entire division, that the next one up is
up the
like
division.
like Anderson
Okay.
beats
Yep.
everybody. It goes,
Let's
hey, buddy,
just
time to go
clarify
up.
that. Yep.
I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
I
you're
think
right.
Zach might be
Yeah,
honest.
I just want to give that
Mighty Mouse
clarification.
needed to go up
because look, if you go way back, we've ripped on Mighty Mouse for this very specific thing. Like, stop fighting the next guy in line and move up.
Yeah.
So I just don't want us to sound like hypocrites or,
No, that's
or
fair.
contradictory.
No.
Because we're not. You're not contradicting what we've said in the past. I just want to add some clarification to
Sure.
it. That's all.
So, and what I'll add to that is, imagine he lost to Henry Cejudo. Like it was a great fight. I thought it was great. Whatever, like it was like finally someone have beaten Mighty Mouse. It's almost like, no offense, but it's almost like someone beat Anderson. Like someone finally beat. There's new blood. But now there's rumors about getting rid of that division. Now there's rumors, that Cejudo and Dillashaw were supposed to fight. Imagine if Mighty Mouse took that fight against Dillashaw and won. He's not even in the UFC anymore.
I know.
Because of how boring, not boring his fights were necessarily, but how boring of a person he was.
It's so crazy. That trade is so fucking crazy because Ben Askren truly is the example of how you do it, because Ben Askren is, if anything, more boring in the octagon than Mighty Mouse. And yet, when you look at one of the bright points heading into 2019, which we could talk about next time when we do our New Year's, you're like, man, this Ben Askren thing's at least intriguing.
Yeah.
At least, and if he plays the villain,
look who he's fighting though. He's coming
Right.
in and he's fighting a killer.
but if you play the villain enough, it's like the Chael thing. Nobody remembers how Chael won. You don't remember how he won all his fights. You know why? Because it's a lot of lay and pray. It's a lot of bullshit. But when you can talk, it works. Ben Askren is talking his way into relevance. And it works. And it's just funny because Mighty Mouse in the cage was this technician. He did everything right. But ultimately outside, we didn't fucking care. He never did what we wanted. He never moved up. It never worked. And now they trade him for a guy who they said they'd never have in the UFC. But look at his talking. Now Dana says he's going to do huge things.
And look at this too. Like, I don't know. It's not bad because Justin Gaethje is he's a good fighter. But he was losing. But people still wanted to see him fight, because of how exciting he was, and he would fight the next guy. Guess what? He went from Michael Johnson when he came into the UFC, won that fight. He lost to Eddie Alvarez. He lost to Dustin Poirier. But he comes back and knocks out James Vick. Like, it doesn't matter how you lose, but he went down. He went up the line and he went down the line as he should. And nobody cares if you win or lose. It doesn't matter. If you're doing it the right way, it doesn't matter. Who knew that this alcohol would be
Man, get you fired
good
up
night
for Christmas.
Super
What do you want?
excited.
Do you have
what do you want for
wish?
Christmas?
Well, if you've got one, go ahead.
So,
'cause
well,
I
don't-
haven't given it really any thought.
Here,
The
I'll-
only one that came to mind for me, and
Go
I'll
ahead.
give you what I would tell you if you were asking me what I wanted on the spot. I would say I really do want Gegard Mousasi to come back to the UFC
Oh wow!
because he was peaking,
like it.
in my opinion, not as a fighter necessarily, but as what we're talking about. He was finally gaining his voice and figuring out his voice.
Yeah, he was.
on MMA Hour, on all these other avenues. He was starting to come into his own, post fight press conferences, everything, and then he goes away, and middleweight division in the UFC is
It's still
it's
that
shaky.
way. It's still that way.
It's pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. There's some great fighters in that division, but it is extremely top heavy, and a lot of those guys have already fought or are going to fight in the next 6 months to a year. And what's going to shake? I mean, we're going to get one of those situations like you're talking about quicker than it should happen. We're going to get Robert Whittaker 2 wins from now is going to clean out the middleweight division with only 5-6 wins in the middleweight. That's
It's a
crazy.
disaster. Yeah.
You can't win 4 times as champion or 5 times as champion and clean out a division. That's what happens 9, 10, 11, 12 times down the road. So, and what's worse is there is a number 1 contender, and the problem is he's in a different
He would be
organization.
Musasi would be the number 1 contender in a landslide
Absolutely.
right now. I mean, he would smash
And
Gastelum.
what a great fight that would be.
I know.
Musasi and Whittaker?
Yep.
Holy smokes.
I mean, we've had the opportunity to watch Whittaker live, and Tim, I remember you specifically saying this fight's way too good. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Like, that fight was fantastic from start to
Please
finish.
tell. I would love for them to know that story because What time was it? I mean,
We had a train to catch.
we had a
and I
train to
just
catch
flat
from
refused
It was
to
like
Chicago.
go.
11:45.
I was like, look, man, it's hard to get a cab outside United Center as it is. So you
Yep.
got to walk a couple blocks, or you got to pay $60 to get a cab ride 10
Yeah.
blocks. So I said, we got to go. This fight's amazing, but it's in the 4th round. You know, let's go. And you're like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like, well, are you gonna Uber home?
I'll figure it out.
Hey, you'll
That's-
figure it out.
well,
and that's exactly what happened.
Ultimately, though, when you're at we begged for so long. Look, a year ago, if we did our Christmas gifts, maybe somebody would have said, "Bring us a pay-per-view," and we got one, and it was really disheartening to get to the main event, which was awesome, and be like, "We have to leave," and I'm like, "I'm not leaving. I'm not. I'll figure it out. I'll just," and it all sorted itself out. But I'm like, I'm not gonna leave because we might fucking in this town we'll probably get 14 more UFC on Foxes now. Again.
On ESPN.
it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Which is, again, goes back to the, that little known fact. Well, actually, I think if I talked to you about this, I think maybe I have when last time we recorded that the UFC has now called me 3 times trying to get me to buy tickets to the UFC on Fox in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
So what is going on? This is why
tough.
maybe we should give the fans the gifts they want because we can't sell tickets.
That's
when we're
tough.
begging people to buy tickets, they're talking about reducing the fees, cutting the ticket prices. And that's a Kevin Lee fight. And Kevin Lee does everything right. He can talk on the mic. He's charismatic.
That's his hometown.
Awesome in the cage.
Well, not Milwaukee
Detroit.
specifically,
No, right,
but
Detroit, right, close
I mean, you're
enough.
right. You're close
You
enough.
don't have a Pettis on there. What
they
the
do.
fuck's going
Sergio's on there.
Yeah,
Sergio's on
Okay,
there.
coming off a win against Benavidez.
So they're doing some things right. They're putting guys in their backyard,
Yes.
but we still can't draw butts to the seats.
Scary. It's not my wish itself, if I had to go, or my gift that I want is, I just want them to stop insulting my intelligence, honestly, all the time. The constant lying by Dana, the bullshit hype, just telling me that this guy's the best, this guy's the best contender. But just don't bullshit me. Just when I watch a boxing broadcast, boxing has some fatal flaws, especially with the judging. But boxing, they don't insult my intelligence. If I'm watching a bullshit fight, the announcers will say it in the beginning, and that helps. I'm like, all right, so this is a bullshit fight. This guy's got a puncher's chance. It's a tune-up fight. I get what I'm watching. UFC constantly insults my intelligence. Dana lies all the time, nonstop. They put on bullshit fights and try to tell me it's the best contender. We can beat him, no problem. It just, please treat me like an adult.
Yeah. Isn't that better? Isn't that better? Not just so that your intelligence isn't insulted, but if I'm watching a broadcast, and let's say I'm a new fan or a relatively new fan, and I'm watching a broadcast and they tell me this UFC fight, this guy is a 10-1 underdog. He doesn't stand a chance except a puncher's chance. If you tell me that and then he does win the fight,
Immediate Rocky.
I'm blown away. Yep. If you tell me they're even and he wins the fight, I'm like, okay, so some guy won the fight. Great.
Yep.
They'll never do that.
Him or him. It's a 50-50
They'll
split.
never do that.
Why can't? But it works.
They'll
for
never
boxing.
do it. They'll never do it on a UFC promotion. Joe Rogan has done it on his podcast where he said he's never even heard of somebody and they're fighting for a title.
Which, by the way, I appreciate because we follow this sport really, really closely. We have a podcast as well. And there is still, I mean, you joked around about some of the main events this year.
Oh my god!
And you don't even recognize some of the names in the main
if you
event.
go through
That's
like the fight
bad.
nights, it's brutal, man.
We'll do it on next podcast. So we'll do it for the New Year's when we're going to look back at all the previous cards.
Like, and
Just
I
the year.
guarantee you, it's going to be one of those things where you'll say the main event, and then the co-main is probably should have been bigger than that fight.
That's
like,
true.
It's like, yeah, no, I can see it happening. I would be surprised because
I just appreciate Joe Rogan
calling it like it is.
calling it like it is and not pretending like he knows every single fighter because he knows 90%
Well, and
of
look,
them.
he's the
You don't
only
need to.
person there that truly doesn't need the UFC, and look what he
Yes.
can do.
Yeah.
Well, tonight, it was funny. Tonight, they were talking about a fight night, and it was a great card. And Rogan's like, yeah, I can't wait to watch that fight. And then Anik was like, oh, you should join us. He was like, haha.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wish I could. Like, he's not into it, which is why Joe Rogan 2 years ago said he's not doing anything but pay-per-views.
Well, he's also not traveling. He's
Yeah.
mentioned
True.
that. I think he mentioned that just recently on one of his episodes.
Which
that
it just
he won't
ultimately
travel.
turned into only pay-per-views because he'll do pay-per-views. Not that pay-per-views are in like Russia.
Well, he won't do Brazil pay-per-views.
Yeah, he won't.
He
leave.
won't travel to Brazil.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he doesn't leave the country as
No.
far as I know.
No,
Does
he
he even
won't
go to
leave the
Canada?
country.
I don't even
Nope.
think he goes like at all.
He's there right now.
Oh, maybe here.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he
Maybe
stays.
Canada.
I wonder, okay, yeah.
He just won't do the like 16-hour flight and time change and all that.
You got to
stuff.
think too. His kids are at the age now too. He's got to be there. You're like, I mean, he's already missed so much. Think about his comedy. Like he travels so much
yeah.
already.
Yeah, he's said he's a busy
What do you
man,
guys think about that? Not to. This is not. We're not going to talk about the fights. What do you guys think about the fact? Why is it that MMA fans completely ignore T-City's PED? But like he got caught for PEDs. As far as I remember, his suspension didn't get reduced at all. He just straight up popped for PEDs, and he's like a hero. People love him
Because it happened so early in his career.
Wasn't it
happened-
full on in the UFC though? Why is that okay? What compared to other people?
I think it's because he was a nobody when it happened.
That's wild to me.
He was a nobody.
Nobody
He was
talks
like,
about
what
it.
was it? He was 9-0 when he came to the UFC. Like
Like
I don't know.
When we did the cyborg research, one of the things is they always say, look, if you hold her popping once against her, you got to hold it against everybody. Okay, so she's a villain, but T-City is everybody's favorite. It's just weird to me. It goes back to the don't insult my intelligence thing. Why does he get to be everybody's favorite and she's a villain? They're both a villain.
It's a good question.
I
mean, it's a
don't get
legitimate
it.
question.
I don't get it.
And yet, if I'm being totally honest, I know the facts. But that's not the first thing that comes to mind when I see him. But when I see Cyborg, it's not. I don't think of her steroid test, but I think of the allegations around her, the claims that she's been using her whole career, and that's why she's winning fights. When I look at T-City, I don't think, oh, he's winning because steroids.
I know.
Or he got popped.
We're not.
Yeah.
I like that
don't
you're
know.
owning it because it's
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. Is
Can't
it?
give you an
It's just because
answer.
of a physique, like his physique. You know what I mean? It's weird.
you know,
I think
so
he
he
there's
was
something to what
so
Zach
he was
said.
he was 8-0 when he came in.
Okay.
So you got to think he's 14-0 right now.
Yep.
So he's got 6 wins in the UFC, and one of those is over. Well, he's got 7 wins, but one of those is overturned. I think it's because he's a nobody. I think if
When
you
it
pop
happened.
if you pop early, that's not detrimental to your career. Whereas like John Jones popping, John Jones is one of the biggest stars in the UFC. Popped. Frank Mir, biggest heavyweight, one of the biggest stars in the heavyweight. Popped. It's just
But
one of those
Cyborg
things.
popped outside of the UFC.
Yeah, but she was
wasn't-
still a
I
big
know.
deal. I bet
she
you
popped inside the
Here's
UFC
what
though,
I'll
too,
say.
though,
I'll make
didn't
a
she?
little prediction here. If Ortega wins tonight,
It'll start to become a
it'll
story.
start to become a story because then he will be important.
Yeah.
Because he came in 8-0. You know who else came in around 8-0? Well, maybe he wasn't quite 8-0. I'm going to look like an idiot here, but
look
your
it up.
boy Weidman.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
If Weidman had beaten Anderson, let's say Weidman popped his first fight in the UFC, but then he goes on to win a bunch, nobody's talking about it, and then Chris Weidman beats Anderson Silva prior to
Then it
what we
comes
know
out.
about
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah. And then it came out, Chris Weidman, steroid thing.
Yep.
Early in it, people would be saying something about it. They
Yeah.
absolutely
That's
would.
okay. So maybe after tonight.
But if he had popped after the Anderson fight, people certainly would have been talking about it.
I can see that.
Ooh.
So how
Chris
what was his
Weidman was
record?
4-0 when he came
That was
into
it,
the
huh?
UFC. So
When he fought Anderson, he was 8-0, right, or 9-0?
No, when he fought Anderson, he was 9-0.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay, that's what it was.
But yeah, Weidman. No one would give a shit. He was 4-0. No one cares.
Yeah.
Like no one cared about T-City because nobody knew who the hell he was. Like I've liked the guy. I enjoy his fights. Like I think he's come around as an overall pretty good martial artist because his first 4 fights were all submission triangles. If that, like, it was triangles, and then he started knocking people out. Like that's what gets me. I don't know.
Don't get
you
me
gotta
wrong.
Hold,
like,
you gotta
we
hold
all-
him to the
yeah.
same standard.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just saying, if we hold it against John Jones, Cyborg, all
You're
these
correct.
people,
Absolutely.
you gotta hold
I've
it
got
against
another
him.
angle on it.
All right.
Do you think it's also because that was pre-USADA? And not saying that gives him a
I
pass.
say that makes it even worse.
I don't think it was.
No. Hold on. I think it was. Okay. Let's just say if it was, and you can look it up. But if it was pre-USADA, we have a lot of faith. As much as we hate USADA and we hate the way they do things, we have a lot of faith that they're catching the bad guys, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So meaning, yeah, he popped, but then he got his shit together and now he's totally clean.
Did they come in 2015?
Nothing to work. Yeah, they came around
It was
2015.
right before you saw.
Yeah,
2014.
there you go. So it's like, okay, they come along, they clean up everything. So now he's clean. So I'm not. That's the thing. John Jones is popping with
multiple
USADA.
times, right?
So it's like,
And what's crazy is that makes it even worse, though, because that's the intelligence test.
It does, but that tells me like you were doing it when everybody else was doing it and could get away with it, and then as soon as Dad came home, you straightened up.
Maybe
And you're like, okay,
maybe
I can't do that anymore. Maybe I'm not saying that's the case. He could be beating it. But I think that would be the quick 5-second thought process of most people. If they were even know about it, they would say, "Oh yeah, but that was back then, and now he's clean."
True.
So what's there to worry about?
I think Zach, in my opinion, Zach might be a little bit closer because it's almost like that college football, like losing in week 1 and then you win 10 in a row.
Oh yes.
If you pop early and then win a bunch, people forget. It's the "what have you done for me lately" thing. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, because think about Ohio State. Like, they lost early, and they almost made the college football playoff this year. And that happens all the time. Now, I want to go back to the Christmas gift. Like, another thing that, for me personally, and this is coming from someone who is notorious for hating the welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley. I honestly, and I think this, and this is not the alcohol talking, I think that we need someone other than Dana White promoting. We need Dana White.
You're right.
Dana White needs to leave. I don't care if he's still a part of the company. Be a part of that. Be the name because everybody knows your name. I get it. But you cannot promote these people because you see what has happened just 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? The shit he is talking about Tyron Woodley when he just fought in September. And
against Till, the UFC's boy. He took on their guy.
I'm just saying, like,
What
this right
fuck?
here, and I want to publicly apologize to Tyron Woodley and all of his fans by saying that he cries wolf, by saying Dana White's this, the UFC's that. This right here, to me, proves that Dana White has something against Tyron Woodley.
Absolutely.
Has 100% has something against him. 3 months ago, he fought and defended his title and won handedly. Like, there was
Smashed,
exactly
outclassed.
So
the future, air quotes.
So what the hell? Like, no offense, I know she's your angel, but Rose Namajunas hasn't fought in a year.
Look. When we get to our year-end show, we're gonna have to talk a lot about her and how she's been so inactive and what that does with her.
But nobody cares.
Nobody cares because they love her.
Yeah,
right.
What is so wrong with Tyron Woodley? He's doing what he needs to do to win, and he's on UFC FS1 every weekend calling these cards, being professional, and still getting shit on. It's crazy. It's crazy how in 1 year I've been the one shitting on Woodley, and now I'm defending him being shit on. It's crazy.
My favorite part of doing this is because a lot of times in my life that happens where you hit a turning point with someone, whether it's somebody in like pro wrestling or the UFC, where somebody gets so ridiculous or gets shit on so much that I end up becoming a fan of them. Woodley's a great example of that. Woodley used to drive me crazy, but I'm like, I've had enough. This guy fights all the time. He comes back, fights who they wanted to. This division is so clear-cut. They had an interim champion named Covington who talks shit. They've got a champion who fights all the time. Those two fight each other. That's what you do. And why is this a thing? Why is Dana making this a thing?
I don't know. It's crazy because, Covington got hurt, so they decided to strip him from the interim, which, okay, whatever. Woodley hadn't fought in so long. You want him to get in a fight, so you give it to Till. But look what he did against Till. And you should... As soon as that Till fight's over, you book it.
Yep.
You book it. That could be, you know what? We talked about it in the last podcast, whereas Cyborg could have been your headliner. Why don't you put Woodley and Colby with a Cyborg and like boost that up. Like that could be your fight with Cyborg to help her too, and that Amanda Nunes. Like that's a super fight that nobody's talking about because Alexander Gustafsson and John Jones is going to sell itself. You don't need anybody with that. You just don't.
Yep.
You put Cyborg and Amanda Nunes, and you put Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley on the same card, and they sell the shit out of it.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's
I
pretty
don't either.
good.
I don't either.
You sell the shit out of it. It's crazy.
They're broken.
I even want
don't-
Covington to fight. What is going on
I know.
here? This is crazy.
I don't get it.
Look at my face right now.
Yeah, his huge smile.
Look at my face.
It goes back to my initial like want for Christmas is I want to see the next in line fight.
What's so bizarre too is that one of the knocks on Woodley recently was him stalling out and outclassing his opponents, but in a non-exciting way. And then he smashes Till and puts all of that to bed. And now is when Dana
Yeah.
White's ready to be like, hey, no.
I love
come
when
on.
has Tyron Woodley ever wanted to fight, and everyone's just like, well, he fights like 4 times a year, and no champion does. It's
4 times
It's
a year.
crazy. You look like again. Stop insulting our fucking intelligence, please. Stop.
It's nuts.
Stop insulting your champions.
Yeah.
Stop insulting the fans. Just put it to bed, Dana.
It's crazy.
Again, I'm sorry to do this, but in boxing, they build up paper champions. They did it with this is the worst time in the world to bring up Adonis Stevenson after the tragedy that happened over the weekend. But like someone like Adonis Stevenson, he avoided everybody that was a major competitor and had a 5-year reign. And you know what they did? The promoters didn't talk about it. He's the champion, and he beats everybody's ass, and it made him a star. The UFC does the opposite. Their guys go out and beat world beaters, and they're like, it's a piece of shit, doesn't want to fight. Fuck him.
They
What
do,
is it?
they
What
do the
promoter?
exact opposite. They downgrade their champions.
If you're Dana White, I often say if you're going to say something is a problem, you have to offer a solution. If Dana has a problem with Tyron Woodley, what exactly is the solution at welterweight right now? What is it? Who is it? Ben Askren, who he said would never fight in the UFC, or who is it exactly? Is it Covington, who he's shitting on also? Darren Till, who just lost to Woodley? Who is it precisely? Why are we shitting on Woodley?
It's whoever the hot person is at the moment. Right now, it's Usman.
Oh yeah, this is their boy.
Yeah.
This is their boy.
Usman's
Yep,
their
you're right.
boy right
And
now.
here-
The guy they
here's-
buried on fight nights and shit, so no one knows who he is, or okay,
No.
weird.
And here's the difference is Usman to me compared to a Cynthia Calvillo or Francis Ngannou even like Usman looks like a martial artist. Like he looks like he can hang, but he's not your champion. So don't push him until he's your champion.
You saying Calvillo can't hang?
Can't make weight.
Well, neither can the backup for this card.
That was my favorite. They finally did what we wanted. Did you
Wait,
see this?
what?
So they finally do now what we've asked for years. They have the backup fighter now fully, so tonight's main event didn't get fucked up. The goddamn backup fighter didn't make weight, which is my favorite thing. And here's the kicker: they're paying
Who
him
was the backup?
some clown, and they're paying him anyways. Think about all the people in the past they haven't paid. When their fights got canceled at the last second, they had nothing to do with it. This clown was a backup fighter who's not even fighting, and he did not make it one job,
Make weight.
and he didn't do it, and they're paying him. I don't get this sport anymore.
All I know is that that's crazy, and I'm just happy that this fight is happening.
I agree.
Max Holloway looked good on the scale. He did. I mean,
Moicano was the backup fighter.
Okay.
he
There you go.
looked thin. He looked depleted. Don't get me wrong, but he hasn't made the scale in 2 fights.
I'm trying to get myself upbeat about him and everything.
So,
I watched
know-
some different interviews so I can get upbeat.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Manuel's done.
Oh, boy.
He's got rocked with Thor hammer over here.
Oh, yeah?
I like Thiago Santos. He's
Am I allowed to hit the bathroom mid-podcast? How does that work?
Yeah,
Is this
roll
like
with
a-
it.
is
Well,
it
because
very-
we'll
I
fill
was
it.
gonna create a drink, but I just went ahead and opened a beer from the
You
fridge.
cannot
down
create a
here.
drink while I'm not filling time by my. Actually, I will. Give me the spotlight. I'm just gonna take over.
What are you
the
gonna talk
podcast.
about?
I don't know. I'll monologue for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
I got a full
I'll figure
beer
something
here.
out. No. Just go make your drink.
It's weird though. Like, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I've been away for 1, 2, I don't know, like 4 or 5 podcasts,
At least.
And I was just like the text message I sent you guys the other day. It feels like a pastime. Like it came back to the damn podcast, and it felt so good.
Tim predicted that.
Yeah.
Tim said, yeah. I mean, he said, it's gonna hit whether it's a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in. Zach's gonna need that escape and need that break, and it's gonna feel fun again. It's gonna feel, because to be honest, we do a lot of work for our regular program for MMA Untold.
Definitely.
And a lot of research goes into that. So it's a side job.
Yeah.
And as much fun as it is, it's time. It's a demand of your time.
Well, I can tell you this too, and Tim's not here to comment, but I was at a stage where the only thing I was thinking about was my kid that wasn't here yet.
Sure.
She was late. She was about a week and 4 days late, and I even had to call in work and was like, hey, listen, I'm going to use some time. Like, I just can't work. I'm not motivated. Like, I wasn't motivated to do anything. And, previous, complications and whatnot, it was like, okay, like, I want this to go smoothly. And my complete mindset was just that. So it just wasn't there. So, having, like, you guys to just be like, all right, take some time. And then, Jake coming in, and that's perfect. Like, he fits right into the mix. Like, it works really well. So, but now my focus, she's good, she's healthy. Like, I'm good to go as long as I have the free time, because my days off now consist of quote unquote babysitting.
Back to the mix.
So yeah, I was just telling him that like it was fun to come back.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
but
that's the thing, dude. To your point, this sport is maddening, and it bleeds into the podcast, right? Like, sometimes we're so frustrated with the sport, it's hard to like come and try to like advertise for it, essentially, because that's all we do is we're trying to help it, essentially, right? And you forget sometimes how much you love it. And that's the thing. Earlier you brought up you don't want to see Cormier Brock, whatever, and that's fine. But that night was when I was thinking earlier about when we do our New Year's, and I'm like, what are the top moments of the year? It's hard not to think of that night.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see that fight, but
yep,
for the future of the sport,
because this sport is an escape. I mean, that's the thing.
But this is what I like to see here. We're watching the fights now, and we have a new contender at 205. Like, that's great right there. Manawal, remember, Manawal was supposed to be the fill-in before John Jones and DC.
Yep.
But he got knocked out by Ozdemir, and then Ozdemir got a shot. Like, we're seeing new blood now.
We need
like,
it.
That's what we need.
Yeah, we need it big
We need the new
time.
blood. He's going to get a big fight. He might fight Ozdemir. He might fight the loser of Jones Gustafson.
He should fight Smith.
My boy Anthony Smith.
Smith?
Yeah.
I'm all in
I
on
love
that.
that
That's a
guy.
good
That'd be a great
fight. You know
fight,
what?
right?
I think they fought.
I don't
did
know. I don't know if Anthony Smith. I think he's gonna take he's one. They say he's like a fight away.
He's a fight
Not
away.
that he-
I think he is.
I
I think
think-
he's a fight away.
as much as
Yeah.
I want to say he deserves it, I know he doesn't. I mean, he beat Ozdemir. So
I mean,
Yeah,
I think he's
right
the,
there.
I think he's the next one. I don't think he's going to want to sit because who knows? Gustafson, I mean,
no,
he fights
he
once
actually
a year.
did say he said.
Fuck.
How dare you?
John
How
Jones
dare
fights
you?
once every 2 years.
No, he did say he wants to wait.
Yeah, and he's going to have to take a fight anyway because they'll do Gustafsson Jones 3 after Gus wins.
Whoop.
So he's going to have to take another fight in the interim. So
I'm going to see. I want to look up his. He's number 3 right now.
That was my biggest red flag for Gus was that I was looking him. I was on his Fight Finder again earlier as usual. He hasn't fought in a year and a half.
yeah, I know.
Yikes.
Don't tell me that.
They have fought,
Did they?
and Thiago has knocked him out.
He knocked out Anthony
TKO.
Smith? Yeah. So they should rematch. That'd be a great rematch.
TKO. But hold on though.
How long ago was that?
That was back
Not
in
long
2000.
ago, right?
That was February this year.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He's
You
the one
can't-
that he's the one
Tiago's
that caused
next.
the spiral.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thiago
And then
is
Smith
next.
No,
He has to be.
No,
Now, what?
No.
Come on. What win streak is he on?
Oh fuck! See, this is
3
what
fights,
happens.
2 fights.
This is what happens. You're on a 4-fight win streak, and Anthony Smith is a part of that, and then you lose to fucking David Branch.
I can't even.
My man.
I can't not laugh at that. That's funny.
He lost to David Branch.
How did he lose? Did he get caught?
He got caught.
Yeah. Well, light heavyweight, man.
He got caught. But then he beat Kevin Holland, who I don't know. He beat Eric Anders, the dude from Alabama, who just
Anders
put
is
on a show tonight,
Anders is
but
a beast.
lost.
Yeah,
He lost.
Anders is a beast.
Beat Jimmy Manuwa. Maybe you do a rematch.
Yeah.
Because they're both on a 3-fight win streak right now. Do a rematch. Next one's title shot.
I think Smith won't do it. I think Smith's stock is too high because Smith's like main eventing, beating people. I'm not saying he doesn't.
I mean, he's not. But
That's true.
He's main eventing on Fox. He's not.
Still
He's
a
on,
main event.
he's the first fight of the pay-per-view. What would you rather be?
Main event on
main
Fox
event
for sure.
I mean,
Really?
you get a full
Yeah.
week of promotion. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you're-
all about.
Did you see that promotion though?
I did. I watched it. I'm the one that stayed up to watch that shit.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
because
5 years old. I actually really like that
Is
guy.
he your new Pat Barry?
He kind of is. Well, he broke our heart with the Rashad thing. This is the thing. It was a trial by fire. It was the introduction with him
Yes.
that was like, listen, he beat the shit out of someone we love, and then I was like, I kind of respect this guy. And it was really Return to the Mac. Let's be honest.
You know who he reminds me of?
It was
And you
Return to
might,
the
you
Mac.
might, you might kill me for this. You know who he reminds me of? Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
from Mortal
Ooh.
Kombat?
Yeah.
I think they just announced Mortal Kombat 11 the other day.
They
by the
did.
way. I got an email. and it
What's
was
his
like,
name? Reminded me of Baraka a little bit. The guy from the what season of The Ultimate Fighter was that? Christoph
Oh, he definitely did,
with
dude.
all the
Definitely.
tattoos and the bald head.
Dude,
that
Mortal
guy reminded.
Kombat
Yeah.
was the shit.
You're gonna go into video.
Who's your
games?
favorite?
No,
Who's
this
your
is
favorite
so
Mortal
good.
Kombat character?
We've talked about
Oh,
this before.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
We
Go
have.
ahead.
I don't remember.
On the podcast?
No
Yeah,
way.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have.
Cabal.
Cabal.
I mean, it's just
Cabal's my
Cabal.
guy.
fact check it. Somebody go back.
Who's yours?
Young Jamie, go back and check.
Intern.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't yell. Your baby's
Yeah, this is the
asleep.
baby. Yeah.
Who's yours?
I said Cabal for me.
Oh, it's for both of you.
Well, mine was Cabal. I mean, OG, the original, it was like Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero and
Johnny
Scorpion,
Cage.
of course. Those two. Can't
Scorpion.
beat those two.
Scorpion's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scorpion's a beast.
I liked him just because he didn't he did what the fuck he wanted. Get over here. Like that was my thing. Right
I'm
there.
pre-ordering this tonight.
You what?
This is like when people get drunk and buy Pogs. And by people, I mean
Or
myself.
when the old people watch the late night infomercials and order all
Yes.
this stuff.
You're ordering
Yep.
the new vacuum
Yes.
that's hot.
Yes.
Well, I always realize that like when I get the email, it's like MK11 is coming, and I'm like, oh, I'm the person you sent that email for, because I'm like, Mortal Kombat's still around, and I just like click it, and I'm like, here
the
we go.
UFC
See,
can't
here
get
we
you
go.
a discount
yeah.
tickets.
What I
but
want for
Mortal
Christmas-
Kombat's got
11,
you.
yeah.
What I want for Christmas is them to make a new Twisted Metal. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
Get
Don't
me
do that to
going.
It's so good.
There's got to be a game that they can create again or recreate, or I just said the same thing twice. There's got to be a game that they can recreate or just like be an original that we can play together. I see you on. We're friends
Oh,
and
man.
we've never played a single game together.
Dude, there's been a lot of Beat Saber recently. Have you guys played this yet?
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber is
You making like? Is it like Def Jam? You making
no,
beats?
it's
or what?
VR. It's so your
Oh,
motion
see?
motion sticks are like lightsabers, and like you gotta like knock. The
Oh,
fucking
oh,
cubes.
the blocks.
It's fucking amazing.
I've seen a video on that. That's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't want to play that with you.
Well, you wouldn't play with me. I mean,
Yeah, see, that's
you
the
play.
point.
It just sounds like Fruit Ninja.
It is. It's
That is
exactly
Fruit
what
Ninja.
it
You
is.
got-
It's
gotta
VR
see it.
Fruit Ninja.
It's exactly what
There
it
are
is.
some fucking bangers on that soundtrack. I'll tell you that much. Wait till you hear these songs, dude.
Fred Claw's not on there. I don't
Fred
want to hear
Claw's
it.
not on there, but and the PC you can mod it in. No, it's
Boo.
dude. VR is still. You guys played Until Dawn, the roller coaster one, right?
Yes.
The
Yep.
Russian
Yeah, that
blood?
almost made me sick to my stomach.
VR
Actually.
I didn't.
You didn't play that?
No.
You know how we always
Until
say,
Dawn? Seriously? I gave you the fucking
this is
game
true.
because I didn't want to play
That's
it.
true.
There's like you know how we say there's nothing like
Fuck
heavyweight
that game.
boxing. There's nothing like a great fight tonight like an Ortega, a Holloway. There's nothing like a fucking out of control VR game. That is like video games at its best. Is when you get like the best VR games. Because you immediately rush. Like immediately I got my wife. I'm like, you gotta play this.
Well, shit. If
right
they
now.
could do Twisted Metal VR,
Oh man.
I mean, if I can be Sweet Tooth or who's my guy? Ooh, come back to me. I got to remember who my guy was that I always played with.
What's the car? Reaper?
Yeah, I think it
Reaper?
was Reaper.
What,
Wait,
Mr.
Reaper
Grimm?
was no
Mr.
Mr.
Grimm.
Yeah,
Motorcycle.
Dark Side.
But I'm not thinking
Dark
of Mr.
Side.
Grimm.
Dark Side
I'm not
was a
thinking of Mr.
semi.
Grimm.
Dark Side was a semi.
I'm gonna find it while you guys talk.
You just go. We going with more Twisted Metal
Oh no,
2
Sweet
or
Sweet Twisted
Twisted
Metal
Metal
is
Black?
so far like down the road of video games for me though. Like, I was totally invested in the first one, PlayStation 1, but then like I got it for like PlayStation 3, and I played it a little bit, but I didn't. The story mode lost me. It
Dude.
lost me.
the new one, the new story mode, or when you
PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
the
it
latest
was a little
one.
suspect. Dude, a lot of to make this conversation is actually more relevant than you think because a lot of people have been
Battle
saying
Royale.
exactly. if you bring that in and everybody plays one of the characters, it's actually pretty fucking relevant.
Well,
with
people are
everything
talking
going
about
on.
like they're bitching about like, oh, what was the first battle royale? And they're like, oh, it was PUBG. No, it wasn't. It was Horizon 1 or H1Z1. And it's like, actually, no, Twisted Metal
yeah.
was.
And then
But you
that-
just didn't have that 100 characters.
Yeah, but I don't need 100.
You don't. You don't
got
need
that-
it.
And those endings with Calypso, it was like the original Jigsaw with like the crazy ass
That's
traps
true.
in the end.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Hoss. You got this character list?
Well, I liked Spectre. I remember Spectre.
Okay, Spectre. Yeah, Spectre was.
Was
sweet.
it Axel, the one with the 2 wheels,
That
and
was
he
the
would be in the
Yes.
middle?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him too because he was fast. He was
Yeah,
you
okay.
gotta get out of there.
Mr. Grimm was like a high risk, high reward. Like he was a little beast with no armor, but he had that massive special move that fucked everybody
yeah.
up. I like the
Dark Side. Yeah, the semi man.
Yeah, you just slam into him.
It's so good.
And that's the moment the booze took over. We're doing Dark Side sound.
I think I liked Hammerhead too, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
But Spectre was my guy.
Was Minion the main boss? He was a real son of a bitch.
Kamikaze. I like
That was
Kamikaze a
Twisted Metal
lot
too. Yeah.
I like Kamikaze a lot. That was the super like fast car. It was like a Nissan 240Z.
I don't
or
know if
some
I remember
shit.
Which Twisted Metal was that from?
That might have been from the new one.
Oh, okay.
Really?
It might have been from the new one. Was it not from the original?
No.
See,
I
that's
don't believe so.
now. See, now I'm blending. It's been
Okay.
so long.
Christmas idea. If you could have one video game right now, so under the tree this year, one video game, what is it? Is it a new Twisted Metal?
Oh, it could be anything.
Is it a fucking perfect UFC game? Like a
No.
rated 10 out of 10, amazing. What is it? Okay. me
The
neither.
game that I want a remastered 2006 WWE game.
Like No Mercy and all
That
that
was
stuff?
my favorite.
God,
It
those
was
were the
it was my favorite. It was my
like fucking
all-time
WrestleMania 2000
favorite.
and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm 100% with you on this. So
It was my all-time.
Okay, this just shut
like
the
I
conversation
loved
down.
it. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Well, one, let's big shout out to God of War, Game of the Year.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, truth time. Whoa, big moment here on the podcast. Stop the recording.
Don't tell me you're a God of War fan.
Not
now.
only did the guy who used to give you shit about God of War end up loving that game,
You got it?
I got a text Thanksgiving morning when I was playing Beat Saber, waiting for my wife to get home because she was on a trip. So waiting for her to get home, playing Beat Saber. I got a text that said, "Hey, you need to pick up God of War. It's the Black Friday sale. You got to play this. It's the best game of the year." I bought God of War. It is at my house right now.
You haven't
That's
played
right.
it yet,
Not
though.
yet, but it's at my
Dude,
house and it's there.
So it's Game of the Year, and they've opened it up. Like now, it's like every other game. Like they'll put in new content. It's so
nice.
open for like DLCs. It's so open for
there.
new worlds, for new like missions and stuff. It's
I'm there.
fucking
It's
sweet.
at my.
It won
home right
IGN
now.
Game of the Year.
I know, it was there.
That's it.
So
It was so good. Now, don't get me wrong. I love God of War, and it's Game of the Year, but I already have that. Yeah,
You already said WrestleMania
2006.
So
I'm gonna look it up.
all in
I'm gonna
on
get
this.
you. I'm gonna get you.
It's gonna be hard for me
the
to
full
top
title.
that. You got anything?
No, I'm sticking with Twisted
Final
Metal
Fantasy
VR.
8, 17. Oh
No,
What was it?
I really think Twisted Metal VR would be like it'd be Mario Kart VR, but
yeah.
more up our alley.
God, that would be so.
Think
cool.
about that.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, you can picture it.
No, I absolutely can. That would be sweet. God, why don't these games happen? Why do we get the same old shit?
Yep, that's it right there. It was SmackDown versus Raw 2007. That was my favorite.
That's
It had
the-
Triple H on the front, and that's when they brought
He's
they
just
brought back
relapsing
they brought
big
back
time.
they brought back the legends. So you had Stone Cold, which I just needed to have them. You had old school Kane. You had The Rock, Mick Foley, Hulk Hogan. You had all of them.
Razor
And like
Ramon.
it was like a.
No, Razor wasn't in there.
Maybe he was, but I just never. I didn't become a big
Yeah,
Razor
you were
Ramon
Attitude
guy
Era.
until you.
Yeah.
So, but it was more so like, and it played out. I was at that time. I was really into Madden, and it played like an NFL season. Like
Yeah,
you had a
yeah.
whole season,
Yup.
and you went through the entire thing. You did your matches, and it is what it is. Like it was so fun, and I miss it.
Can I
miss
take
it.
the negative term with this? Can I ask if anybody's going to throw any chairs tonight? Because
Oh fuck.
we haven't done that in an eternity.
Yeah, it's been a while. Do you have
Because-
something?
No, not this moment, but I thought of you guys because I was like, oh shit, we haven't had the game.
Well,
back
I
together in
can
a
tell
long
you right
time.
now, the biggest backlash on a throwing chairs segment came from my comment about. Now, it got twisted to my comment about mothers or parents in the drive-thru, but
I heard this.
It was just directed at any a-hole that's in the drive-thru with more than one or two orders. I could not stand by something as much as I stand by
to
that
this day, you're
statement to
going
this
back,
day.
you're doubling down.
I have experienced this. It's like...
Taylor double down Gabriel's here. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't mean to feed a fed horse here, but...
There it is.
But yeah, I mean, every time I
Bring
go
out the
somewhere,
mayonnaise.
every time I go somewhere and I'm waiting and I look in the side mirror and someone's got a list in their hand, it boils my blood like you would not believe, Tim.
Oh my goodness.
He still has issues with this.
I really legitimately do.
I'm staying
and
out
I'm
of this
telling
war.
anyone who's listening, think before you go through that drive-through with more than two orders. Just think. Stop and think
It
about
sounds like
this.
a threat, like you're legitimate.
is.
I'm ordering pizza. You guys want anything?
Well, I mean, I'm out on
Hey,
the
Hoss, take it easy.
I thought I was out of control for going to the bathroom in the middle of the
Wait a
podcast.
minute.
Hey, I
But I
want you to
thought
break
we- I
over.
thought we-
Can I break open those Oreos?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably one line left because your boy's been tearing them up the last couple of
Okay.
days.
But you can't eat them on the mic, or then you're that guy. You got to eat them over there.
But here's the thing, though. You got to open them over there, too, because you know that packaging is fucking out of control.
Yeah.
new.
No, are you crazy? Listen,
So you guys have
there's
no
no
new
snack
throwing-
in this house.
We haven't had a throwing chair segment in 6 months. Nothing's pissed you off in the last 6 months. When's the last time we did throwing
There's been
chairs?
plenty of things.
There's
but
been plenty of things that piss me off, but it's more so it's more of a personality thing, like how people are. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like
Taylor eating those
Tell you what
Oreos.
doesn't piss me off.
red Oreos. You know, all right, this and now it's pissing me off thinking about it. So I believe it goes back to, this was off the air, off the podcast. Taylor brought up, you know, who is it, Kramer for Seinfeld, who acts like he's super frantic and busy all the time. So Kramer on Seinfeld, and this is what I get from Taylor.
Oh, wait.
I've never seen Seinfeld.
Are you referring to the George episode where he realizes that if he looks
Yes.
busy and frantic,
Yes.
people leave him alone?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so is
George.
it George? Is it George Kramer? Like,
No,
I don't know
no.
who this. I've never seen Seinfeld.
George Costanza?
Okay. So George, he acts super busy and he realizes that, you know, if he acts busy, people will leave him alone. Well, I know somebody like that.
Oh, boy.
And it sets me off
Drives you crazy?
because the amount of stuff that this person can do,
You know what's awesome? I know exactly who he's talking about.
the amount
Yes. This is awesome.
the amount of stuff that has to be done in this specific time period of work is stretched out so far because of how frantic this person acts. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, this person was gone for this particular day that this stuff has to be done during the week, and I had to take that role. It took me less than half the time to do it because I just sat down and fucking did it. But the person that I know that does this stretches it out to sometimes the next fucking day.
Motherfucker.
And thinking about it is irritating. It's pissing me
Yeah,
off
you
right now.
I've set you off.
Like, oh my gosh,
Okay,
I
all
can
right,
just
you threw chairs.
envision.
You
I
threw
can.
some
I can.
serious chairs.
I can
I've
envision
set
it
you
right
through the-
now. Oh, leave me alone. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta blah blah blah. Just shut the fuck up and do it. Just do it.
Okay,
Just
you're
fucking
you're
do
out,
it.
you're out of the segment. You're out of the segment. I've set you off.
God, it's you know, I get
You
it.
truly did
There's
just throw
one.
chairs.
There's one day a week that it's considered like time to just get this specific stuff done. One day a week, but that one day a week turns into two. Turns into, oh, I didn't do it this day, so I'm gonna do it 3 days from now. And it just takes time away from the shit you should be actually doing. Like, this doesn't take that long. Just sit and fucking do it. Don't go out and take random, you know,
A little
breaks.
smoke break or something.
Well, if we're gonna be exact, yes. And that's another thing that fucking pisses me off. Right now, throwing another fucking chair through that window. Smoke breaks. Smoke breaks, you go outside for 10 minutes. Guess what? Next time, and this is going to start happening, you want to go, oh, yeah, I just want to go out with you. I don't smoke. I'm just going to go out with you because I want that 10-minute break.
Did you see this year that the company that like gave like it's like something like 6 extra personal days a year to non-smokers because of all the time wasted by smokers?
Fuck.
Like, yeah, they gave them extra
Please
because they're like,
do
yeah,
that.
you just if you add it up over a year, if you take 2-3 smoke breaks a day, 30 minutes a day times 300.
That's smart.
Yeah,
2 or 3?
Well, I know I'm being generous.
I've timed them, and I've gotten up to 8 times a day
That's insane.
for 53 minutes.
Holy shit.
You know Zach's mad when I'm looking at his track on his
just
voice line, and
constantly
it's
coming
just
out.
constantly peaking.
I'm sorry.
That was the closest we've come to
I'm gonna
actually
calm down.
throwing chairs on the
I'll
segment.
calm down from here.
Yeah.
Does anybody else got anything?
Well, now
No
now they're all
chairs?
super uncomfortable.
Man,
I
I
still
don't.
want pizza,
we
though.
probably should wrap this thing up, but I don't know if we should end with that.
No, we can't go out on that negative note.
No, no.
Well, we went through all of our Christmas. Do we have any positive Christmas gifts? Do we have any gifts the UFC has given
No
us?
bookends this year?
No, like
Oh, the UFC?
we were going over what we need, which is basically indirect negative. Mm-hmm. Is there anything gifts they've given us that they've done right this year that we're
Well,
happy
they're
about?
gonna give us Gustafsson Jones,
Which is awesome.
But I
and,
feel like
that
it's too
really is a
late.
gift.
It truly
It
is.
It is a
too
gift.
late.
It is a gift,
But I'm
but I
trying
think
to
it's
find
too
the
late.
positive here.
And I'm going to be not a fan favorite, but I think a positive is Conor McGregor.
Okay,
What-
explain.
elaborate.
Because he did not have to come back and fight. He didn't. No money involved. He came back for the love of the sport.
Took a tough fight,
And he took
You're right.
really, really tough fight. And he ultimately lost it.
I'll give you that because that was at a time
And
where
I think
we really
that's a
needed
gift.
it too.
And a year ago at this time, we were just begging for him to stop talking about boxing and come back. Not only did he come back, but he fought Khabib,
Yeah.
who everyone was so scared of. And by the way, is such a fucking piece of shit. God, did you see the clip of the woman asking him what like the tips about becoming a fighter or whatever?
No.
Oh man, he basically just said like, go become a fighter, be a fighter in your household,
And finish your
your husband
husband
every time. That guy,
Zach wants to laugh right now. No, I'm just kidding.
is something else.
What?
Yes, it went viral. That guy is a real piece of work.
Holy shit.
Just remember,
But I
anytime,
think-
anytime you want to talk shit about Conor McGregor, I know he's polarizing. I know he does a lot of really stupid shit. Just look up Khabib. Please look up the shit Khabib does.
So, and that right there alone, I haven't seen that. But
Oh,
that
it's
right there alone,
brutal.
like Connor really was a gift this year. Like
You're right.
he was.
That was a
And
gift.
I appreciate not the UFC for putting that on because it was ultimately up to Connor. Let's be real. Like Connor makes he makes the rules here. Like it was up to Connor. Connor was the gift. He gave everyone the pay-per-view that everyone wanted. He didn't win. So what? Everyone bought it anyway. It's already won. It's already won when you buy the thing. So him coming back and taking that fight when he's not in it for the money. He made like what 10 million after $100 million fight. Fuck that.
No, Taylor. Can I ask if your gift is the next Anderson Silva fight? Is
Oh,
that a gift
God.
to you?
No.
Stylebender?
No. Hold on. Hold on.
Anderson's back.
That's
Not suspended anymore
I'm
again, or-
sorry, and I'm not going to watch that fight with you. I'll watch the fight, but I'm not going to watch it with you because I feel like the amount of heartbreak that's about to happen, it's going to be like fucking 7th grade where your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're just like, oh my God, the world is going to end.
Taylor, is there 25% of you that's like, what if he wins?
Yes, there absolutely
Yes,
is.
yes,
Yes,
I would be
there
too. I would
absolutely
be
is.
too. I'd be
You
like,
know
what
what's
if he
funny
wins?
about this? I'm going to tell you what's funny about this. When I first heard it, I was irritated by the news because of all the reasons that everyone's already pointed out. We feed our old to the young. And it's really just unfair to do that in a way, but I understand the necessity of it, so I'm not totally against it. What's strange is that it hit me a few days later that for the first time as an Anderson Silva fan, I don't expect him. Not only do I not expect him to win, I believe that he is not going to win. And I can't say that that's happened in any previous fight. And when you go in and your fighter is pushing the record, you're nervous every second of the way. When he loses to Chris Weidman, he goes back to fight the second time, you're hopeful and you get your heart broken again. When he fights Bisping, you think he's going to smash him.
What about Cormier, though?
Cormier, that was a throwaway. Yeah, I guess I
count.
kind of felt that way, but that was more like I'm
not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying you knew he was going to lose.
I knew he was going to
lose.
lose. I knew he didn't stand a chance at all.
That was bullshit.
This one, I actually think there is a 25% chance that he could win. So it's gonna be heartbreaking, but there is an element of like, okay, I'm not nervous about this fight. I expect a certain outcome with just a tiny bit of hope, so I can root for him to win as a genuine underdog. And I know he was in the Cormier thing. That was more, I was just excited he saved that fight, and got to be on UFC 200. But this will be interesting.
You know what's cool about it is that for the first time since please correct me, maybe since the second Weidman fight, he's in a fight that truly is relevant to the title picture, right? Not like the Nick fight. None of that really mattered, right? None of it.
No, and not since the Nick fight has he fought somebody that he is not a threat to take him down. So
that's
be
what's
fun.
cool. And I do think it's cool that at this advanced stage where clearly he only has a handful of fights left, that you're giving him a chance to be like, you know what? Hey, fuck it. You beat this guy? Yeah, you can have a title shot. I don't mind.
And it's cool because they're calling Stylebender sort of the next Anderson Silva.
That is
and you know what's really
itself.
nice too is that he has been on television saying, I requested not to fight Anderson Silva, but that's the person they gave me, and he's my idol, and I'll honor him in the best way I can. But that's the person they gave me, so that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So,
and I hope that if he does win, he's respectful.
He will be.
And I think he will be.
It's his idol. Of course he's going to be.
I think he will be.
It's like the tragedy. It's like the best and worst part of the sport at the same time, because everybody, in this town, it's all about like Jordan, LeBron, this and that, like who's the best of all time, but you never get to see them go head to head in their prime. But like in combat sports, that's the tradition, is the old pass the torch to the young. You go out on your shield, you lose to the young guy, and you pass on the torch. It's cool as shit that we get to see Anderson versus the new Anderson, but it's also not fair because it's not the real Anderson, and everybody knows what's going to happen unless somebody gets exposed. Maybe Stylebender isn't as advertised, whatever. But it's like a tragedy, and it's fucking awesome at the same exact time, right?
It can't be as bad as Tito Chuck.
So
I'll just feel good.
How dare you bring up our boy Tito?
Yeah, Tito.
No, you're not.
Are we gonna predict that's New Year's.
Next
New
year,
Year's. You wait.
I'm excited. New Year's, we had a lot of good stuff. We did.
We'll come back firing on all cylinders. Yeah.
We fucking blew it. Last year, our Christmas episode, we just like went over the whole year, and then we got to New Year's. We were like, wait, what?
Yeah, we're not making that mistake again this year. So,
but no, any gifts? You're positive. I made a joke, but did you have a positive? I made the Anderson joke. But what was your gift this year from the UFC?
Well, like I said, I mean, I really am happy that they put together Jones Gustafsson. I mean, it came kicking and screaming, but here it is. I agree with you. I'm glad Connor came back this year.
Can I make mine simple?
I'm really glad Chicago got their pay-per-view.
There it is. That was mine. I was going to say,
glad.
I think our gift truly, in a tough year, was just getting a good, really, really good pay-per-view. And did Yoel Romero piss on our face a little bit? Yeah. Did he? I mean, he did.
But it worked out.
It worked out in the end. As long as he lost and it was a classic fight, it was awesome. So it's just cool that we haven't had a fight that really mattered. 2008, Anderson, the Anderson fight you were at. That's probably the last fight that truly mattered here. Like really, really good. All of our Fox
But
cards
that's so
sucks.
funny because that was the fight that was the catalyst for Dana saying, well, now we owe you, Chicago. Really big.
You could
for
make
that.
the case. You could make the case that
10
we
years
lost our
later.
title fight. We lost our title fight. It was a gift. Let's not get it twisted here and be negative. We lost our title fight. We got the CM Punk thing, which we fully supported Punk and everything, which is kind of a freak show fight. They still haven't truly made it right to this town, but at least they're trying.
No, but that was I'll take
Absolutely.
what they gave us. That was good.
So they're getting somewhere. And some of our cards have aged very well. Like Holmes Shevchenko has aged very well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Shevchenko here in a little bit.
So let's try to be positive. I know because the year-end show may not be the most positive experience of anybody's life. Watch out.
What are you talking about? We're all positive on this podcast.
Positivity. When you sent that positivity hat picture, I was like, oh my God. I tried to find it. There it is. Look at it. I didn't even put it there. I tried to find it upstairs because that's where I thought it was. There it
down
is.
here.
It's made its appearance.
I think a good cliffhanger would be that let's just say there's a chance. Let's just hope that these last 2 cards can save the year because they have the type of fights. They have 4 fights that could truly turn a year around. But can they? Because it's been a fucking roller coaster. Just wait, dude. I took 2 seconds just like, I'll just check out these main events. You look at the year, you're like, what happened? What happened?
It's going to be interesting.
But no, overall, I guess I'm just thankful we do have this fucking sport, man. It as upsetting as it is at times, it has been a fucking gift, right? Because the NBA's betrayed you.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I don't even want to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, our teams are a fucking shit show collectively.
Yeah.
Sports betray us all the time, and there's the MMA putzing along, doing its thing.
Gosh, it is
Steady.
such a love.
Slow and steady wins the race.
So,
all right, Merry Christmas. We out.
Come Santa Claus, come Santa Claus, down Santa Claus
Tread Claus.
all his reindeer, and all the
Tread Claus.
bells are ringing, children sing. Bells are ringing, children sing. Bells are ringing, children sing. Santa Claus comes tonight.
Yeah. I tell them all I want for Christmas is 2 gold front teeth and 10-carat diamonds on a fat gold wreath that I can wear around my neck. Get money and respect. Tell Santa Claus to bring a $10 million check so I can spread a little cheer.
Oh, I was hammered that night.
Yeah.
That's right. I haven't drank since then.
I think that's me too.
That's like a DJ special. Oh, yeah, see? Rewind.